I'm gonna need you to walk me through what happened.
So as a father, that is my fault. And
Welcome to Hollywood Silver Screen. In today's video, we're uncovering the dark and chilling stories of 10 infamous sibling criminals who shocked the world with their crimes.
Starting right now.
These siblings, bound by blood, teamed up to commit acts so horrifying that they've earned a place in history's Hall of Infamy. From organized crime families to ruthless killers, these stories will leave you stunned. Stay with us until the end, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Hollywood Silver Screen for more fascinating stories. The Menendez brothers, Eric and Lyle Menendez. Eric and Lyle Menendez became household names after they brutally murdered their wealthy parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, in 1989.
And it's never gonna end.
The brothers claimed years of abuse drove them to commit the crime, but their lavish spending after the murders raised suspicions. Their trial, televised nationwide, captivated audiences and led to their conviction in 1996. Sentenced to life without parole, the Menendez brothers' case remains one of the most talked about crimes in U.S. history. The Kray twins, Ronnie and Reggie Kray. Ronnie and Reggie Kray were notorious gangsters who ruled London's East End in the 1950s and 60s. Their gang, the Firm, was involved in armed robberies, protection rackets, and murders.
I know her as a neighbour, next neighbour, and I used to meet her almost every Sunday getting her paid.
The twins gained celebrity status, mingling with famous figures while hiding their violent activities. Their reign of terror ended in 1968 when they were convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison. Even in death, the Krays are remembered as icons of British crime. The Carr brothers, Jonathan and Reginald Carr. Jonathan and Reginald Carr committed one of the most gruesome crime sprees in Wichita, Kansas, in 2000. Their crimes, known as the Wichita Massacre, included robbery, sexual assault, and the brutal murder of 5 victims. The Carr brothers' lack of remorse and shocking cruelty stunned the nation, earning them death sentences. Their horrific acts continue to haunt the city of Wichita. The Briley brothers, Linwood, James, and Anthony Briley. The Briley brothers terrorized Richmond, Virginia, during a 7-month killing spree in 1979. They committed robbery, arson, and murder, killing at least 11 people in brutal fashion. Linwood and James were sentenced to death and executed, while Anthony received life in prison. Their reign of terror left a lasting mark on the city, and their case remains one of the most horrifying examples of sibling crime. The Bondurant brothers, Pete and Pat Bondurant. Pete and Pat Bondurant, known as the Bondurant Boys, were convicted of multiple murders in Tennessee during the 1980s. Their crimes included drug trafficking and the killings of friends and associates. The brothers' violent tendencies in rural setting gave them a reputation as modern-day outlaws. Both were eventually convicted and sentenced to prison, bringing an end to their reign of terror. The Duvall brothers, Ray and Faye Copeland. Ray and Faye Copeland, a married couple who worked together as serial killers, were aided by their son, who became involved in their schemes. The Copelands lured drifters to their farm under the pretense of offering jobs, only to murder them. They were the oldest couple ever sentenced to death in the U.S., although Faye's sentence was later reduced to life in prison. The Papin sisters, Christine and Leah Papin. Christine and Leah Papin were French maids who murdered their employer and her daughter in 1933. The crime, marked by extreme brutality, sparked debates about mental illness and class struggles. Their relationship was described as disturbingly close, with some speculating it bordered on obsession. Christine died in an asylum, while Leah was released after serving time. The Dion quintuplets, exploited victims turned aggressors. Born in Canada in 1934, the Dion quintuplets became media sensations but later faced exploitation and abuse. While not conventional criminals, their tragic upbringing and battles over money led to accusations of fraud, theft, and legal disputes among siblings. Their story highlights the dark consequences of childhood exploitation and family conflicts. The Bever brothers, Robert and Michael Bever. Robert and Michael Bever shocked the nation in 2015 when they murdered their parents and 3 younger siblings in their Oklahoma home. The brothers planned the killings for months, inspired by fantasies of becoming infamous mass murderers. Robert was sentenced to life without parole, while Michael received a life sentence due to his age. Their case remains one of the most disturbing family massacres in recent history. The Whitehead twins, Jasmia and Tasmia Whitehead. Jasmia and Tasmia Whitehead, identical twins, were convicted of killing their mother in 2010. Initially reporting the crime as a break-in, the sisters later confessed to the murder after an intense investigation. Their shocking betrayal and violent actions stunned the public, highlighting the dark potential for sibling partnerships in crime. Both were sentenced to 30 years in prison. And there you have it, the 10 infamous sibling criminals who committed shocking crimes that shook the world. Whether
Is
driven
the
by
two of you
greed, anger,
reconnecting,
or deep psychological issues,
growing
these siblings
closer
prove that
as
family
brothers?
ties can sometimes lead to terrifying acts. If you enjoyed this chilling countdown, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to Hollywood Silver Screen for more stories about crime, scandals, and mysteries. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.